Girl, look in the mirror. Man, you're so dirty. Yeah, you look so dirty. You were never worthy. Lately, it's you.
Welcome to the Jeremy Hill Show. If you're easily triggered, leave now because this is not the show for you. Can you dig it? What I'm going to talk about right now is just some more shenanigans that modern day women be doing. You know, how they don't appreciate what they got in the relationship, how they destroy relationships and stuff like that, how they put themselves on pedestals and expect everybody else to put them on one too. One of those type of episodes today. But before I do, hit the notification bell. Once you hit the notification bell, select the option that says all. That way you will be informed of all my new content. Can you dig it? Now, let me go ahead and get in this thing right quick. 1 second, y'all. Gotta look for it. Gotta look for it. Boom. There it is. Like I always say, let's get it.
Y'all, I had to take a mental break because I've been so exhausted with the conversations that I have been seeing online, especially when people talk about marriage and they talk about absolutes. I'm sorry that you all have seen some unhealthy marriages. I'm sorry that you all have seen some toxic marriages. I do apologize for those people when I should not be. But that is not every marriage. The marriages that are happy are typically quiet. I got a lot to do today, so I'm going to make this quick. If you are marrying simply because you want to feel good, if you are marrying simply for the romantics, it is doomed to fail because the moment that you get bored, the moment that they show up with a pet peeve of yours, the moment that your happiness starts to waver, the moment that you feel like this person is responsible for your emotional fulfillment and they draw or maybe they lack in some sense because they have things going on, you're going to run. It isn't.
Now, let's talk about that. I say that the majority of women, they only get into relationships or even marriages based upon shared commonalities, attractiveness, and feelings. They rarely ever get into any type of relationship based on logic and reason. Because if they did, then no matter how sexy and how good looking Pookie would look like, no matter how fine he is, logic would tell them this man has 6 baby mamas. He's been unemployed for 5 years. This man, he don't take care of himself. He's a mama's boy. He need a woman to look out for him. He's gonna cheat on me because he cheats on everybody else, and he has a reputation of beating women. Logic would tell that woman, stay away from that, no matter how beautiful he is or how handsome he is. Now, she goes after him based on the fact they have commonalities. They like the same music. They like to go to the same places, the same clubs. They like to use the same type of slang. The slang, talk about, hey, what up, wow, that, you know, stuff like that. They both like gold grills. He's fine. Stuff like that. They base their entire existence on emotions. When a man gets with a woman, it is based upon attractiveness. Also, the desire to have a legacy, which means he would provide and protect, and also feelings. But unfortunately, a lot of men have abandoned the part about the feelings part. What do I mean? They will allow women to mistreat them while still finding that woman attractive and still wanting to have a legacy with that woman. That's what's going on nowadays. And like she said, as soon as a woman gets bored or when her feelings change, when she feels that there are no more commonalities, these things used to be things we used to do, but I don't find those things exciting anymore to do with you, but I find them exciting with someone else, she will leave your ass.
Until you realize that marriage is not just for you. Marriage is for you and others. It is for your familial community. You are combining 2 families together for the sake of generational wealth, for the sake of emotional wealth, to extend your lineage. You are marrying for reasons outside of just being happy that you can call somebody your companion. You're married because you understand true partnership. You understand serving outside of you. You want to keep your traditional values going. That's what you're marrying for. You want to be able to strengthen this family and your family. It's not just about you. When you realize that I am marrying this person, not just for the sake of us feeling good, I'm marrying them and their family as well. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that people have really crazy families and stuff. That's the reason why you're supposed to vet and court right. You need to know who their family is. But once you realize that it is so much power in marriage, I understand that society paints it out like it's not, but there is so much power in marriage. I am in a happy marriage. That's the reason why you never hear about Kitty's marriage. My people don't speak bad about my marriage because they see my partnership with my husband. They see my partnership with my husband and his family, vice versa. It's just, it's a different playing field. I'm exhausted.
Let me say this, man, about the in-law thing that she just mentioned, the family member. If you got a woman whose family is always in her business, that ain't a good woman for you. I'm gonna tell you why. Because like she could be as sweet as possible, sweet as pecan pie, sweet potato pie. But if she still always is involved with brothers' business, sisters' business, mother's business, father's business, grandmother's business, her family business, meaning that anything happens over there affects her mood, affects what she got going on, that means that she has not been taught and that her family members don't respect boundaries. When a woman leaves her family, father, mother, grandmother, auntie, brother, sister, to be with a man, especially to marry a man, they don't have no damn hold over her no more. There is a cord that must be severed. Not saying that you cannot still communicate with the people, but you should not be so personally invested in what your family members are doing or what your friends are doing. You have your own life and you have your own man. You need to tend to your own relationship. This is one of the main reasons a lot of relationships fail, because the sisters keep calling, starting shit. The brothers keep calling, starting shit. The mother keep calling, starting shit. The daddy keep calling, starting shit. Excuse me. And she has yet to get a spine and say, look, I have my own life now. Now, you can either roll with it or get rolled over. You let miserable people stay around miserable people. You avoid them. You let people who make bad decisions in their lives stay around people who make bad decisions in their lives. You avoid them. Anything a person does, excuse me, allergies. Anything a person does that can affect your mood, that can affect how you feel, that can affect you doing things throughout the day that you have previously planned a day before to complete, you need to avoid, cut off, or distance yourself from them. Unfortunately, there are a lot of men who do that, mama boards. The woman can come in his life and mama run the relationship, or she always dropping little bullshit things that cause problems. The same thing with a woman. They be thinking, oh, that's just how they are. But really, sometimes they jealous of you and they just putting seeds of division there. Anything to stir up strife just to get your ass focusing on them. Fuck them. Nobody should have that much power over your emotional well-being. So she's right. Y'all need to make sure you understand what type of family the person has, because it should not be tolerated. Unfortunately, a lot of these modern women have not learned boundaries, or they don't have courage, balls, or a heart to say, look, this is not serving me. Let me cut this off. They don't know how to turn off the spigot.
Stop letting these people who are upset because they're single or they have failed relationships or they're bitter keep projecting their traumas and their pains and their discretions on you and instilling so much fear. I have a problem with people who speak about being so empowering, but they paralyze people with fear because they're constantly, never mind.
She cooking. She cooking. I'm gonna put this gentleman up here because he's gonna say some real stuff. Can you dig it? Hold on, put him up here. Because he makes a very good point. If I can find his ass. There it is. All right. Let's get it.
Good morning. There is a tendency for women to think that they play integral parts in events in your life as a man that in their mind gives them justification to say or do certain things or believe certain fantasies. Uh, I just had to tell a woman after she told me I was there for you for this and there for you for that when you were going through your worst. I'm like, nope, you are not. And those weren't my worst moments in life, not even close. And the back and forth, it's the thing about trying to get people to understand that you don't work. You and me don't work. And I need you to recognize it, because I have to look, I don't look at the now, I look at the later.
Exactly. Men must learn to look at the later instead of the now in the present, because the behavior of the woman today is indicative of what you're going to experience tomorrow. Now, one thing he said also, man, one thing he said is right. Realize when the relationship ain't working and just cut that shit off. A lot of people are guilty of that, and I'm not condemning them. But when you're in a relationship, you can already tell it's not working. Too much stress, too much strife, too much arguments, cheating, whatever it may be. But it's funny when the person gets the revelation of, we need to go ahead and cut this short, that the other person, especially that Hellcat demon woman of his, fights harder to stay in a relationship. You ever been one of those where you're in a relationship and you're trying to get away from the person that's causing you all the hell, and they fight harder to keep you in a relationship? Baby, I'm sorry. I want it. Let's do this. It's seek therapy. Let's go to company. Let's do this. Let's do this. Those particular broken people will fight hard to keep you in misery, fight hard to keep you suffering, fight hard to keep you around them so they can continuously to torment your ass. And all that energy that they use to fight to keep you should have been the energy that they was using to do right by you. You know what I mean? When you get in them type of relationship, just cut it off. Just cut it off. They're going to holler. They're going to scream. They're going to say this. They're going to do that. They make shit hard to get them out your house. No, I won't go. No, I won't go. I will tell you to call the police to escort them. I've done that before in my past. If you got to do that, man, because you already had the police do that, then you do that. That way they can't say that you try to beat them or something like that. Have the police come and escort them out your house, you know what I mean, or your apartment. Do whatever you have to do. Hell, you pay their salary with your taxes. Do whatever you have to do. Get rid of that woman to put some space between you and that woman or that person. You get what I'm saying? Let's keep going.
I look at how things progress based off of behaviors. That's how you have to think as a man. When I was young, I thought in the moment. In my middle age, I think about the end result. A lot of you ladies think you're more important or more integral than what you are at certain points in a man's life. If you are that in a man's life, you would be married to him. If you're that in a man's life, you're with him till he's old. But as a man, the man that I am now, my main objective is peaceful coexistence, peace permeating throughout every facet of my life. You have to understand, no matter how good somebody is, no matter how good they think they are, they may not work for you. And you can't force it. I've learned over the course of my life not to force things. Some things just have to be. And that's just real. Ladies, y'all have to start listening to men. You think once you formulate things in your head, it's fact for you. But the thing is, we're telling you how we are. Well, I am. And there's men like me who are going to tell you exactly where they are and who they are and how they are. They're not going to bullshit you.
Exactly. Women need to start listening to men. Like you said, when they start getting the idea in their head, they think it's fact. The world is cognitive dissonance, where they believe a reality to exist that does not exist. We tell you the truth all the time, but what we like, what we don't like. But in your mind, you still try to find a way to get around that shit. Say, and when you see that we are right, after you see that after you see everything that you're doing to change our mind isn't working, when we say we don't care about degrees and all this other stuff that you care about, you tried to prove us wrong. And when you see that we are not budging, then you go into the insult game. You're like, you don't want me because you're uneducated. I'm too much of a woman for you and shit like that. The result's still the same. You're still going through loneliness. You're still going through the same shit. You know what I mean? So maybe you need to just shut the fuck up and listen to me. I mean, hey, it's just a opinion. Anyway, man, I'll holler at y'all later on. And y'all take it easy, man. You hear?